The Chiesa stuff and the Salah stuff are utterly embarrassing at this point. Like, what he's basically saying here is Salah is above the rest of the team. Salah's above being held to account. Canade should be dragged off at half time. If we're being honest about it, that's what should be happening. Salah should be subbed right now, and Canade should have been dragged off at half time. But no, reward them by throwing them back out and let them continue to stink up the gaff. Chiesa performs every time he's subbed on. Stupid. V. Aaron said, I'm sorry to be in the minority here, but I genuinely feel we're missing Trent. Salah definitely missing Trent, just my opinion. Look, there's no denying Trent would be making a bit of a difference, mate. You know, you're not going to get an argument from me on that one. But at the end of the day, Salah should be a good enough player to make some stuff happen as well. And we can't... Look, you're right about Trent. It's a fair point. The team would be stronger with Trent in it. If you look back in history, Salah at this time of the season has not shown up a lot of the time, or has patches where he falls off at this time, whether Trent's in the team or not. But again, it is a fair point. Here comes another change. Darwin coming on for Diogo, and Connor Bradley coming on for Jones. So again, he seemingly has no interest in Chiesa. So, Canade's coming off. Sorry, it's Canade that's coming off for Bradley. So we're going to probably go to a back three, are we? So Canade's off. Deservedly. Too late though, Arna. So Bradley on, Núñez on, Canade off, Jota off. I think as fans we deserve an explanation on the Chiesa situation, by the way. You can't tell us our wage bill's so high that we can't make signings, then sign the players on 7 million quid a year and not utilise them. That's a piss take for us fans. I don't know who's to blame there. Whether if you want to blame the manager, whether you want to blame the recruitment team, whoever. It's not good enough. Squeaky Clean said, Darwin getting rewarded for crap performances while Chiesa scores in the cup final. Do you know what I'd love? Is one of these journalists to ask Arne Slot flat out why he isn't playing Chiesa. Any chance he's doing your job, lads, or are you just going to cry arse and ring the police? Anybody thinking of asking Arne why he just flat out refuses to play Chiesa? Journalists, if you could help fans out with that one, be much appreciated. Maybe, call out the club for wasting wages that they're so precious about. Those journalists have no balls. Well, they've some neck on them. Like, imagine threatening me with the police for calling somebody's opinion out. But, yeah, they don't have the neck to go in there and ask the tough questions. Like, every Liverpool fan, I would say, regardless of how you feel about the season, I would suggest that 95% of Liverpool fans would like the manager to answer the question on Chiesa. And honestly, and not be let off the hook. Not let him away with any of this fitness nonsense. It's been 9 months now. The fitness stuff lasts for 3 months, then you have to seriously start asking, what was the thought process there? And was it a player forced on you that you didn't want? Will said Chiesa's situation is baffling. It just looks bad on Arne that he refuses to use him. It does. It feels like he's just trying to make a point to the recruitment team. But, as somebody who cuts his nose off to spite his face quite a bit, and I do, I understand it, but at some point you're going to have to just acknowledge that we can potentially benefit more from trying him than we can benefit by letting him sit there, and other players just feel like they've no pressure on them. Midfield today, again, he took off Szoboszlai, and we're talking about fatigue as an excuse. Fatigue shouldn't be an excuse. The only reason it can be an excuse is because the manager didn't utilise the squad enough. And not using Chiesa as much as he has not used them is criminal. How many chances did he create when he came on? He had 2 shots that I can think of, and 2 or 3 more chances. Elliott hit the crossbar, had his shot saved, and created a lot of stuff in that way when he came on. So why aren't we utilising these guys more? And why, as our friend said a moment ago, are we letting the half-time situation go and giving them 10 minutes to waste again in the second half? Shadow said, sorry, Chiesa did more in 8 minutes than Salah has done all March. Steve said 2 goals of Fulham should be enough, but the defence was awful, so was the attack. Mukrab said Chiesa did more than Jota and Salah. Salah should not play for the rest of the season, said Sam Lewis. Constantly playing with 10 men, pocketed again. Matthew Johnny said, yet again Harvey and Fede have proved that they deserve more game time. It's like a running gag. We say it every game they play now. Sam Lewis said, Craig, now you see why they haven't given Salah a new contract. I actually don't, Sam. And I will explain what I mean. This isn't unusual for Salah. Like, if I was to say to you guys now, do you think this is a regular occurrence at this time of the year for Mo? I think we can look right back to his early days even, and I would imagine this fall off happens. And at least I remember it as a fan, thinking that this Salah fall off happens regularly. I don't think it's to do with age or his contract situation. I think this is just a regular thing. I remember having conversations in the earlier seasons when him and Kane say we're going for a golden boot, and us all feeling like he was pushing for that golden boot and trying to force stuff more, and the longer that went on, the more blanks he was drawing, the more frustrated we were. Whatever about Salah, not taking him off is, to me, a big issue, because I don't know what standard that sets. If you have players who aren't playing up to their ability and you're not taking them off and holding them to account, what does that say to younger players? You know, we want people to fight for the shirt. We want people to work hard. And that should be a bare minimum. And if you're not doing that, it doesn't matter who you are. In fact, I'd go further. The bigger a personality in that dressing room you are, the more incumbent it is upon you to set the damn standards. So your Virgils, your Mo's, they should be out there leading by example. How is Slot trusting an ageing Robbo but not a young Chiesa? Well, they're kind of two different situations. At least there's an acknowledgement we need to sort out left back. Again, we asked earlier on in the chat, would you like to hear Arne Slot pressed on why he's not playing Chiesa? And I certainly would as a fan. Elliott should be starting the next game. Chiesa should be starting the next game. And if Salah isn't at it, he should be taken off. And even at that, I think I'm being generous, even allowing the idea of him starting the next game, because 4 games in a row now and he's been anonymous. Slot should drop a couple of players, start Chiesa and Elliott, but he won't because he's stubborn, said PB. Salah needs to start on the bench next game, said Justin. CJ Edit said, who do you think we should get in the summer? Kirkes, Hoyson. Look, the ideal would be Isak or Alvarez, but we know cheap McPants won't spend that money. And I'd love another attacker as well. I'd sell 2 attackers this summer. I'd sell Darwin and sell Jota. And I'd give Diaz a new deal personally. So I'd rip up the playbook here if I'm Arne Slot and start actually building something that resembles his own image or his own want, because some of these players are coasting. It's not good enough. The detective said, what does Chiesa have to do to get game time? We just seem to struggle against physical teams who aren't aggressive and press high up, or who are aggressive, and press high up. We need to be brave in the summer and get more quality in the squad. It almost feels like Arne's going, you've 8 minutes there, mate, out you go, change the world in 8 minutes. And it's not fair on Chiesa, because even in that little 8 minutes plus stoppage time, he had 2 chances, forced the save and created some more chances. So if that isn't rewarded, then we're seeing the manager just be stubborn, because he should have been playing after the League Cup final, but he wasn't. Didn't get a sniff against Everton and gets 8 minutes again today when we're desperate. That's not a game plan. That's desperation stuff.